Well, you understand the finance bill 2024 is almost here with us. Most people have been asking me to take them through at least what they expect in the finance year 2024, the year 2025. I can tell you the truth by them. My good people that always listen to me from time to time. If there is a time that you need adjustment about your life, it is now. Remember, of course, I've always been your mentor and your coach, and I've been guiding you, talking about the matters of finance, talking about the matters of budgets, talking about business you can be able to do, and so on. So I want to take it as an example today and take you through, at least you can be able to understand what you expect in the finance bill 2024. I can tell you there's a lot of taxes that are coming in. We have a lot of plenty of taxes already coming in. And of what I'm trying to give you as an example is, okay, I'm not against for the government to collect taxes. I support the government to collect taxes as much as possible. But what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to give an observation. I'm trying to take you through, at least you can be able to understand of what you expect. And then if you're able to do some adjustment, of course, you know, I've always told you every time that you need to do adjustments upon your life. It's about lifestyle. You talk about how you spend on your money, talk about the money that you need to save and so on. They can be able to guide you, at least you can be able to go through the year 2024. And of course, you're not going to use these things that I'm going to give you. It's going to be very hard for you to survive in the year 2024. My name is Samuel Getembe. Of course, I've been your mentor every time. But if you find this video so much interactive and good for you, of course, subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment for us, and also at the same time give us a like for doing a good work for you. Now, the finance bill 2024 is already here with us. What do you expect in this year? I know most of people have been talking about it. People have been discussing what do we expect and everything. Many people are already complaining and saying, of course, the life is already hard in Kenya. So how are we going to survive? Talk about the people that are getting a salary, maybe about 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. What are you expecting? We already have a payee. We have the housing deduction that is already coming in. We have a motor vehicle tax that's already put there. Talk about the other items when you buy products. Talk about the cooking oil and other things. The prices are going to affect everything. Okay, I had and read where the government is saying through the president they have to collect taxes. What does it mean? So everybody has to live by means, and that is why, as the first thing, as your financial coach and your mentor, I always come in at least to try and break you through and take you through of which what you expect in this budget, the year 2024, the year 2024, what it's supposed to do also. The first thing I'm trying to consider here is about there's already a proposed tax of what you call the motor vehicle annual tax of 2.5%. So the government has come in place to introduce this tax called annual motor vehicle tax of 2.5%. What does it mean? Every person that owns a car in Kenya is going to pay a 2.5 tax. I don't know if you're getting my point here. Yes, of course, they have been trying to tell us of how they want to do it. Okay, there is a lot of challenges that people are trying to understand about how it's going to be done. At the same time, how is the housing levy supposed to be done? We had an issues before that was already in court. I think they were settled up, and then now the government started collecting money for the housing and so on, which they tax people, they build houses and they sell to them. For what I'm trying to give you as an indication here is just to let you know it has already been proposed, and if it's going to pass next week in Wednesday, Tuesday, what you expect is here that you are going to expect to pay 2.5% of the value of your car every year. I think I don't know what with the way how they're going to tax it. Of course, maybe they're going to use it through the insurance companies, or they're going to make it a mandatory deduction. We can be able to know by Tuesday next week. But you have to now close your safety belts now. Make sure that you're good in place. At the same time, you make sure also you adjust to it. So if you have a vehicle, let me give an example. If you have a vehicle today that is approximately like 1 million, talking about roughly of 1 million. So this is what to expect. That is 2.5% times 1 million. That is already what to expect is around 25,000 shillings paying to the government as a deduction. You can imagine what 25,000 shillings can be able to do to a human being as a person. This is a whole shopping money for the whole 3 to 4 years, 5 years, around 6 months of an average Kenyan person that is earning at least 20,000 shillings and so on in a month. So if they ask you to pay this amount of money, okay, we understand a lot of people, even those who own cars, not because they own cars, because they're working and having money and being paid well and so on. Most of these people are servicing already loans. They buy cars through loans and then they want to service them from time to time. So this means an introduction of 2.5%. It means it's going to increase actually the cost of these cars. At the same time, it's not going to make these people go to their pockets deep and be able to get this money for them to do what? To make sure they pay this money that is already here. That's what I'm telling you. It's going to affect each and every person. And I've been telling you, actually, even I saw a newspaper that was saying, so if this is the individual cost of 1 million, because when you talk about a motor vehicle, is any vehicle that moves on the road. This means matatus are going to be affected. So the matatus are average of around, a matatu is around 5 million in Nairobi, right? That is a bus of 33-seater, around 5 million shillings. So what does it mean? 2.5% of 5 million. You can imagine the cost. That is around 100,000 or 200,000, something like that. What does it mean? So this means this is the amount is going to be passed to a consumer. And who is a consumer? A consumer is someone who uses these matatus on a day rates. So if your fare was 100 shillings, it's going to go around 120 shillings. So if you do it on a monthly rates, that extra 20 bob that is ahead of it is a lot of money and is going to affect your disposable income. So you need to adjust to it and just know that if you own a car within Kenya today as we speak, so by next week, if the bill is passed, you will be supposed to submit 2.5% as an annual tax to the government for you to be able to do what to comply to call the motor vehicle tax annual. Of course, this tax has never been there before. From the times of our traditions and the babus and so on and other peoples on the ground, for the past experiences, we have never had the introduction of taxes of 2.5% on motor vehicle. Okay, we already pay taxes when you buy a car, you pay the insurance, we pay for other products, and so on. But there has never been an introduction of 2.5 mandatory tax for anybody that owns a car. People have been talking and discussing that maybe this is a rich problems people, but to be honest, every country that is developing and every country that is growing, people have to use cars. Of course, they have to give mobility of the people. People have to use cars to go to the job and so on. So introduction this cost of 2.5% is really going to affect you as a person that is listening to me and so on. Number two, talk about the bread and the wheat. Of course, we've been purchasing bread at 16%. That is normal. Now it's going to go up to 25%. So you can imagine of what I'm trying to mean about here. So what does it mean? So if the bread is currently 65 shillings, right, in Kenya, so it is going to go up to around 80 shillings. You can imagine that a difference of 15 shillings or 10 shillings, what can be able to do to an individual person. So what does it mean? So the bread is going to be very expensive to afford. So, okay, people are trying to give another options for able to use as a way of measuring and reducing your consumptions of each and every day. You can consider maybe using some of other products like Ngwashe, Nduma, and other things, which you can be able to submit on terms of bread, but it's going to affect a lot of people. If you ask an average Kenyan person today, this is not even a problem of the rich people. Every person is consuming bread. Even talk about the local families and so other people. They have to buy at least a bread for people to go to school. Talk about even schools. Okay, when I grew up in a boarding school, we have been consuming this bread every day. What does it mean? So the introduction of this actual cost here is going to affect even education sector. The people that have been depending on taking a bread on a breakfast and so on. So the prices are going to go high. What does it mean? You know, the challenge we have is Kenya is one, isn't it? The taxes are going high, but the disposable income is still stagnant. So if you're getting 10,000 per month or 20,000 per month, your employer is not willing to add more money for you to cater for these annual taxes to pay, to cater for the money for the bread, to cater for the money for these other products and so on. So this means you are going to go deeper in your pockets. I can tell you today, if you have been spending a lot of money, maybe on the items that are not necessary, you have to cut down the cost now. If it was about travel, you used to use maybe by the air every time. Actually, the beauty about it, I've also had even the traveling by air is going also to add another extra cost. There's an extra cost that I've seen about, okay, look about most of the developed countries, especially these developed countries, the bigger companies, not companies, countries, when you travel through the air, there's no much of the taxes on the flights that are really put there. But today, I'm told for these airlines to purchase, I think the airlines parts, spare parts and manufacturing and so on, they're going to incur another tax on the same. So what does it mean? They're going to push that tax to the people who are using the commercial flights. What does it mean? Now the cost of the flights is going to go very high, like especially for domestic. So if you want to support an industry, you don't put a lot of taxes to people. What you need to do is to create a lot of jobs for people. The people are going to have money and they're not going to be able to tax them. But if your salary is still 50,000, then you're going to be deducted 2%, 2.5% of the annual taxes. Then you get deducted the housing levy 1.5%. Talk about NSSF, you pay around 1,800 shillings. Talk about NHIF, talk about pay and all the other deductions. So this means the amount you're going to take home is actually from 50,000 on the 50K, you're going to go home with at least 27,000. You can imagine 27,000. What does it mean? Almost a half of their money has already gone to taxes by paying the paying NHIF, paying NSSF, paying housing deductions, and paying the annual taxes. What does it mean? Now you're going home with a disposable income of 27,000 shillings. What can 27,000 shillings do to a person? My good people, this means we have to try and go to other sources of income. We have to create more sources of income to sustain us. And I've been always doing this video from time to time to try and educate you on other platforms that you can be able to go on and make an extra money. So this means every people here are already targeted. You have to pay the taxes. Yourself, myself included, you have to pay taxes. So this means we have to adjust our means. So we have to go on our way of making our budgets. That's why I take you through about the finance bill 2024. How is it going to be and how is it going to affect you as a person and a consumer? Of course, it is a very big document. I cannot be able to break it in one segment of a single video. I'll try as much as possible to take you through for the next subsequent videos and so on, and to take you through at least you can be able to understand how it is this bill likely to affect you as a person and as a consumer. Remember, everything is pushed back to a consumer. A consumer, it's me and you that consumes products. So when you're going to buy some things like perfumes here, you're going to get an extra cost done on it. When you go to about the beauty product, talk about the people that import hair, human hair, talk about beauty products like okay, the oils and so on that people use for refreshing of themselves from time to time. They're going to be added a cost on it. It means it's also going to affect you as a person. Actually, I've been telling people, is that if it is going to be made a mandatory and it's passed, of course, there's nothing we can be able to do about it, right? So we have to adjust and live according to our means. So this means we have to spend very little money as we get it. Sawa. We have to get the little money that we have to get the money that we get it, and by the time we get this money, we have already reduced the amount of money that we spend per monthly income. This means at least it can be able to sustain us from time to time. Actually, another thing I want to take you through is about so I've already told you that you need to be very much careful about these the motor vehicle tax annual that is going to be posted as 2.5% for every car. Actually, it's going to be done a variation. So you do have, if your car is maybe around 1 million, that's what you're supposed to pay, 35,000. So if you have a Mercedes and a V8 that is around 10 million, so you have to do the calculation of 2.5% of 10 million, that is around 250,000. So that is the exact amount of money you're supposed to pay to the government as annual. It's going to affect you from a disposable point of income. Actually, we have another one here called about the individual retirement funds subject to taxes. Okay, the individual retirement funds. Now they are going to be regulated by the Retirement Benefits Authority. They have to be registered through this board. So in this platform, what does it mean? It means that now all the amount that you people have been getting, because this money before they have never been taxed and so on, now going to be subject to taxation. It means even the amount of money that you have saved on yourself, they're going to be taxed on the same thing. Actually, another thing that I was talking about here, this is about the cooking oils, the perfume products, and other products. This is it. Okay, let me make it in general. Majority of the products, the prices are going to go very high. Talk about the liquors, those people consume liquors and other people and things and so on. Actually, it's even going to affect the hotel industry, because most of these people have been maybe working on tax amnesties where people are not paying much of the taxes before. But now with the introduction of these taxes of the finance bill 2024, it's going to affect the liquor people, it's going to affect clubs, restaurants, and so on and so on. What does it mean? Even some of the employees will be sent home. Inflation will be able to happen. So we have to try and live according to our means, at the same time trying to understand of what is going to come for us and what is going to affect for us and so on. So in most cases, this means every money that you have to spend it in the right way. You have to be prudent on how you spend. You spend your money in the right way, and it's going to make sure that you already have at least something for yourself to use and in terms of need. Okay, I've always told people that you need to save something for yourself, and just every time, as I told you, you save money today, it's going to save you tomorrow. Don't spend to the last coin. Leave it at least even if it's 2,000, 5,000 shillings, 3,000 shillings. This can be able to take you through at the times you not be having something, and this one can be able to take you for some 2 to 3 months as you wait to get another disposable income for consumption. Then, so this means the cooking oil is going to go very high. For those of the common manage who have been using the normal cooking oil of buying a liter, 2 liters, maybe a half a kg, 3 kg, of course, you understand with your favorite brands that you've been consuming from, this is also expected to go very high. So you need at least to adjust yourself and see how much you're going to have for consumption from the cooking oil. Beauty products that mentioned about it, still also expect to have prices to go through it. So it's going to have to be punitive taxes to us. us as Kenyans and every person. And as I mentioned earlier, I've never gone against way of taxes, being the government imposing taxes to people. What I'm advising is once we pay this money, because all of us are Kenyans, I'll be contributing money as a person myself and more other people, even those people, by the way, who are outside foreign countries, and you'll be wanting to send money Kenya here. When you'll be doing remittance and tax, remittance of your monies to Kenya and so on, you'll be subjected to taxation. So what does it mean? You have to spend your money well. Talk about the money transfers. When you send money from one mobile services to another mobile services, they're going to attract a cost. Currently, as I know, like sending 100 shillings I think is free, but after 100 shillings, like 101 shillings and above, you'll be subject to 7 shillings. Okay, from the new taxes that are coming in, we already have excise duties that's already coming in. The excise duty once comes in, it means the transaction charges are going to go very high. Talk about the banking services today. As we talk about the banking services, these banking services today, as you'll be sending money and accessing credit cards and so on, there is already an imposed taxation of an excise duties. So the excise charges, once are going to be in place, this means for you to acquire like a MasterCard, a debit card, talk about a product like a debit card, MasterCard and so on, they are going to affect you as a person, as an individual. What does it mean? It means now you have to change a strategy. You have to find a way to live according to your means. You have to find at least a way that can be able to sustain you. You can imagine. Imagine getting a debit card in Kenya now. Maybe it was around 500, so going from 600, 700 shillings. What does it mean? It's going to affect you as an individual. Another thing also to check about is this means that you have to find another alternative ways of spending your money. So if you send your money and the cost is going to be very high, okay, talk about majority of the people. Most of the people send money from one person to another in an average per day. Actually, most of the people use mobile services, especially money, to transfer even more than the banking. So this means that the tax imposed on this sending of the monies is also going to affect you as a person. So what you need to do as a person, you need to adjust your lifestyle. One thing that is so much clear. You remember I've always been advising you and taking you through. You adjust your lifestyle. That is the key thing. That is number one. Number two, you try to eliminate things that you don't need to spend on them. Eliminate them at all cost. That is something that is doable, and that's something that is able to work out. So you need to sit down and plan, and having a good plan can tell you, so which are you spending on first and which are you leaving outside. Okay, so and then the impulse buying of things from everywhere. When you people have been buying things, when you go outside, you check people are selling shoes, you just want to buy and everything. You are not able to do it at the current situation. What does it mean? You have to work it for your side and make sure that your money that you have, you really spend it in a right way. So thank you very much. I want to appreciate you for watching this episode. By the way, know that this finance bill is going to affect you directly as a person. So what you need to do, adjust your lifestyle, adjust on your means, and if you can be able to get more money by savings and everything, please save more money and prevail in the year 2024. So thank you very much. I was just taking time to take you through. At least now you have understood of what you expect in the finance bill of 2024, and I'll be getting you more episodes and more videos for you to continue and rising and understanding the finance bill 2024. Until next time, let's meet next time.